Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kill House here on Saturday night. Solly is here. TC is here. You want to say hello so people know your voice?
Hello,
Just
everyone.
in case you're listening on the podcast, we are also live. I am hearing some feedback.
Oh, I know why. We're good.
We're good. We're going to keep going. DJ Pie is here running the ones and twos.
God, almost a perfect game. Bogey
We're
the
going to
first.
get one. We're going to get one. You can get that back on
doubt.
seconds of par five. We
First
can get
is
one.
a hard hole, too.
It is.
Tough
It
hole.
is. It is.
Glad to be here.
Big Randy is here, calling in from the Mountain West time zone in Denver. Hello, Big Randy.
Konnichiwa, gentlemen. I'm
Very
so
well
thrilled
done.
you guys would have me another night.
That is so cool of you. Hideki, if I may say, he looked pretty dialed on his distances today. Do you see where I'm going?
Yes, but please continue.
Do you see where I'm going with this? Rapsodo.com/NLU. $75 off your own mobile launch monitor with promo code NLU. This offer ends April 13th, so get on it. If you haven't seen, we are big on the Rapsodos. I'm doing some speed training. So I've got these sessions. I do 24 drivers where I measure, I do 8, take a 2-minute rest, 8 drivers, 2-minute rest, 8 drivers, 2-minute rest, measuring my average swing speed on each one, trying to see an increase, going to the gym in between. It is awesome, have a little measurable device. It is extremely affordable. It's $500. It's $425 when you use your $75 off coupon. It is extremely accurate. It gets within 2% of units that cost $20,000. I think that's probably a pretty good bargain. You can use the app to track your stats. It stores video with each shot with Shot Tracer, and it's about the size of a rangefinder. Immediate feedback. Have I said enough? Have I made the sale here, guys?
I'm sold. I already have one. I'm
Couldn't
sold.
be more sold. I already pulled over. Can't pull over any farther.
It's extremely portable. You can use it both indoor and outdoor. So go to rapsodo.com/NLU, promo code NLU for $75 off your mobile launch monitor. Offer ends April 13th.
I don't want to say your speed training sounds like someone that we've been making fun of a lot, but it sounds a little bit like what the big golfer's getting into. It's very intriguing.
It made it sound like you were working out between your sessions of 8.
Listen,
It's your set, bro. You're up.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't caught up a little bit with what Bryson did at Wingfoot. My swing's getting a little long and across the line a little bit, but if you can see where I'm going with that. Come on, guys.
Rory.
Yeah, sure,
okay.
of course.
All right. Day 3, Masters. Listen, let's just get out in front of this. That wasn't that fun. That wasn't a great day.
No,
As a golf fan.
As a golf fan who doesn't really root very hard for Justin Rose, I would say it wasn't very fun. But I want to be very, very, very forthright in giving him props that thing could have gotten deeply off the rails, and it was really impressive what he did. And obviously that let's just get that out of the way so we don't look like Rose haters. But of course, Hideki was fun to watch, man. That was an amazing back nine.
It was flawless back nine. I mean, flawless round. Bogey free 65, 30 on the back nine, punctuated by the eagle on 15, followed up by the birdie on 16.
A lot of people saying this, not me. This is not me saying this, but a lot of people out there saying totally crowned by the rain.
Well, Solly, you took the words right out of my mouth. So we'll just get that out there. We don't need to belabor that point. But the rain, and I thought the wind was a little bit overblown too. No pun intended.
I mean, they called him off the course before things got, anything happened.
I'm kind of the mind that they shouldn't have called him off the course. There was no electricity whatsoever.
But it apparently downpoured there for a little while. That almost like, I don't know. I wasn't there. Randy, what are your thoughts on what happened with Matsuyama today?
I mean, what are we doing? We can't play in a little rain anymore. TC,
I feel like this is pretty easy to say for the guys who are not responsible for a player possibly getting struck by lightning.
TC said there was no electricity in the area, and I'm going to take that as gospel.
And Lou Turner, I was looking at some of his maps with him, our local news savant down here, and he said no. It was we were good to go. We're good to play.
All they needed was the weather bug. It'll tell you, how far away the nearest lightning strike is. Anyway, no, I wasn't as turned off by the golf today. I'm a little curious to hear you say it wasn't that fun. I thought yesterday was way less fun. I guess I was, Matsuyama is, wow. 4-shot lead over a host of challengers. That's going to be very interesting tomorrow, I think. Trying to win the first men's golf major for the country of Japan. I always love storylines like that. Some disappointments. I think, obviously, JT, like, what the heck happened there on 13? I think we all would have wished Spieth would have made a bit more of a charge. He was just up and down, kind of doing Spieth things. But I'm curious. I'll throw it back to you. Why specifically was it? I mean, how would you rank today? I thought it was much better than yesterday.
Personally, I thought it was good.
Well, you're living and dying with every Leish shot.
It would have been a phenomenal day if Leish would have made 1 or 2 more putts.
And I'm rooting for Leish too. It was just like, I don't know. I guess the weather kind of threw a little curveball at us and kind of seemed to suck some of the energy out of it, because I thought things were rolling pretty good there in the first half, and maybe it might be kind of the DJ's theory. Like, my favorite golfers just suck. Like they didn't do anything today. So I don't know. Watching Spieth fall out of the running for it, I don't know. I don't want to say out of the running, but just not a lot of crazy fun things happened today.
Spieth's out of the running. Can we say that?
No.
Come on.
He was 9 back in 2018.
He's 2 back of second place. I mean, if it's on Hideki. If Hideki plays well tomorrow, he wins. But if Hideki melts down, man, Spieth is right in it.
I don't think Jordan's got the horses in the back this week. I don't think he's
Jordan with the easier pins makes a lot of sense to me. Like, he can just go on a absolute birdie tear. I'm not counting him out. Obviously, he's not the biggest thing going on right now, but
I think a couple things you got to look at with Jordan is, one, it's the putter hasn't been good. So I don't know if that means, you can look at that half full, half empty. Either maybe he'll get hot tomorrow, or more likely maybe it'll continue to be cold tomorrow. But the other thing is, like, dude, he's still hitting it really good for the most part. And so I'm kind of with you, Solly. I mean, I know I might as well just be a homer to the end and just go down with the ship. But if someone's going to come from behind, I think it's Jordan. So
there's so much other good stuff we can talk about. Besides Jordan, do you want to give Jordan props for the birdie on 8? That was the filthiest birdie I think.
Oh my God. CBS almost missed it, because they're in Butler cabin with Nance and Faldo. But he had some very Spiethy birdie. That's why I kind of thought we could find something today. That birdie on 8 and the chip in on 10. And was all right, that's some miraculous shit going on.
And then calling Greller Miguel on 12.
Also calling that it was going long, and it didn't go long. But gosh, yeah, he seems uncomfortable in 13. He hasn't seemed to really take that hole for what it probably should be for him. I don't know. He's not the lead. I don't know how I got tricked into talking about Spieth here. You guys are making me talk about it.
He's the needle.
We got to make you talk about Spieth. Guys, I think 13 might be the forgotten man. Like, I think that's what's feeding into some of my, not frustration, but just, that's kind of the crescendo, 13 and 15, the crescendo of the afternoon every day. And between the weather delay and then guys like not being able to get the ball to the hole, or even within 6 feet of the hole, putting from the middle or back of that green, that just sucked a little bit of the energy out of it for me.
The Corey Connors 3-putt was a tough scene.
Corey Connors
putting in general was a tough scene, but we can get to that, I'm sure. I'm kind of with you. This is, I think, for the first year, the first time that I've really enjoyed 15 a lot more than 13 this year. And I don't know if that has to do with technology. I don't know if that has to do with, just greens being extra firm this year, and just a lot of, as TC said, to borrow a phrase, a lot of bad shit can happen on 15. It's been a little bit more interesting of a hole. Good question in the comments there, by the way, from Landon Staler. Why did Rose lay up on 13? What was going on?
Why don't you tell us why you think he laid up?
I tweeted one hypothesis.
No, that was Max Verstappen's live commentary on it. I have
nothing to say other than he was being a pussy.
I'll say too, I think Rose's shot on 15 should have absolutely gone in the water, in the pond on 16.
Those balls are not going in the water this year. I don't know what it is. It's just because the fairways are slow or whatever that is. But 15, I think when it's firm like it is, or when it was up to this point, balls that don't, like, the line for success on 15 is so much thinner right now, and that it introduces carnage too, right? When it used to be, it usually is on 15. If you go long, you can chip on and make birdie pretty easily. But now if you go long on 15, it's like, can he keep this on the green? Yeah. Much less than it is, can he get it up and down? I mean, Adam Scott, he had a ball, he had a 8-iron in, I think. It goes a little long, stands over his ball, addresses it. The ball moves, gets a penalty, then chips in the water and has to go back across the bridge and play back into that green. I was like, dude, that does not normally happen on 15.
Then got crowned by the bank because his shot from the drop zone should have gone in the water too, but it held up.
Do you think Leish will be out there, or Adam Scott will be out there on 18 if Leish has a chance to win?
Hell yeah.
Get in the background of those photos like Leish was in the background of his photos.
Although I don't know, Adam Scott's got to watch how much time he spends in the United States. for tax purposes.
That's a really
So he might get the hell out
that's a really
right after his round.
heady point.
Leash was also in his group when that happened. It wasn't like
obviously
Leash.
joking.
Okay.
Yes.
Now going back to 15 though, like that was kind of the turning point for. I mean, between Hideki and Schauffele making eagles there, Rose could have made much worse than par there.
Everything happened in about 90 seconds today.
Yeah.
All the excitement happened in 90 seconds.
And then Zalatoris' second shot into 15 was, I think that was, for me, that was probably the shot of the day. That was unbelievable.
Shout out to Zalatoris, man.
He was so good.
Ball striking Jesse.
Yeah.
I mean, his putting still doesn't look great. I mean, it doesn't look like he's, a threat from 20 feet when he's lining them up, but God, did he hit the shit out of the ball today.
He looks a hell of a lot more comfortable over a 20-footer than Corey Connors.
Yes.
And we got some good news about the guy who played Happy Gilmore's caddy also.
Yeah.
You see?
Evan's scholar, and he's a PhD. He's a doctor now,
I'm
right?
very curious if he's tenure track or not. I hope he is for his
Who
sake.
can say? Where, Stony Brook?
Yeah.
Stony Brook University. Yeah. So shout out to him if he's, if he's still a huge golf fan.
I don't know what's in Randy's future, but tenure is almost a guarantee. Whatever you're going to do in your future in life, you're going to end it with tenure in something.
I would love it.
You just seem destined for it. You want to talk about Big Leash?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty damn solid round of golf. The shot that he hit out of the trees on 2, he went way right on 2 off the tee. Hit a most committed shot out of the trees I've ever seen, with like a 3-yard window through these trees, and then makes birdie from the front left bunker. Crazy good up and downs on 4 and 5, especially the one on 5 was just drippy. Sloppy bogey on 7, dumped it in the front bunker with his approach, and then bad shot into 10. Finished short left there, and but overall, like, hit a great shot into 12, barely cleared the bunker, and then did what he needed to do on 13 and 15. He just needs that putt on 14 or the putt on 17 or 18 to fall. Like, he just didn't make many 12, 14, 15 footers.
Couldn't make any putts.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Tron. So obviously you were deep on the Leash block at Augusta. You've been talking about this for seemingly months and months and months. Why is that? Why is it Leash plus Augusta equals good stuff?
I don't know. I think he was at a disadvantage after the rain because he's so good when it's firm, and he's so good when the ball's on the ground and that sort of thing. So I think for me, it's A, I'm a massive homer for Leish, and B, I think it's a great spot for him. And he's like Spieth in a certain regard. He's greater than the sum of his parts. And he's been rock solid inside of about 5 or 6 feet this week on the putts.
He's also great at just those like nippy little, the short grass around the greens.
Yeah.
He's great at those little pitch shots. He's great with his irons. It's just, I don't know. It seems like it just fits him really well. And to your point on the firmness, like when those reports all started coming in from early in the week, like, oh my God, it's playing firmer than ever. That fits him well too, because we've seen in the years past when he's contended here, I mean, more than a fair amount. And it does always seem like Thursday, Friday, he plays great, and then they soften up the golf course a little bit, and everyone kind of catches up. So
I'm hoping they turn that shit on tonight and crank those sub airs up and do what they need to do.
Easy pins, firm greens tomorrow. I think will be really fun.
Yeah,
that'd
be awesome.
I think that still introduces challenge to it. If the soft greens, easy pins is not fun for anyone. There's no consequence to your shots, but getting close to them still being some elements of using the slope and using the runouts, yet balls funneling down towards them could be really, really fun tomorrow.
I mean, in like last thing on Leish, his second shot into 18 was crazy good. From that bunker. From the bunker, like I thought he thinned it into the lip at first, and then lastly, like, yeah, I'm so far down the river with him that like I've lost all objectivity. I can't,
no way.
To be fair, you lost that many weeks and months ago. Yeah,
but I was right.
So far, so good. Yeah.
You know what? One of the wildest things I saw today. You might be throwing all. We're big data guys here, right? Might be throwing all the data off. Hideki wears his whoop over his wristband.
Very shocking.
I don't think that's giving you the data you need, bud.
Yeah, I agree. That was unsettling to see.
Well, speaking of unsettling, the other unsettling thing, Leish ball mark on the belt.
Graham, right after I comment on that, Graham McDowell tweeted something that was like, "Holy shit!" I don't think he said that, but it was basically like, "Man, that just blew my mind seeing Leish reach for the belt buckle ball marker."
Guys, you're not helping me get into the ad read here. That's what
I
was
didn't know.
going for.
I was giving you space to hit the hole. You didn't hit it. You got tackled for a 2-yard loss.
That's where I was. I thought you guys were going to pick it up where I was going for there. Whoop.
You telegraphed it, and then you did not hit the hole.
If you do not know what Whoop is, it is a fitness wearable. You'll see all the guys out there on the PGA Tour wear them. You'll see us wear them as well. Right here, it gives you personalized insight into how your body is performing. Listen, a week of watching golf, sitting around drinking beer and drinking whatever we've been drinking, and it's not going to be great for our recoveries. It's just not. But that's just part of the risk you take when it comes to, taking in some golf. So go to Whoop.com, use promo code NLU for 15% off. This can save you hundreds of dollars on a subscription to Whoop. Randy's showing you his right here on the live stream if you are watching this live. It has done wonders for my sleep recognition and understanding what my heart rate does overnight when I have, Randy loves ice cream. I love ice cream. When we have the late night sugar, it doesn't do great. Your body doesn't recover as well. My heart rate spikes overnight when I have too much sugar before I go to bed. This is all things that you should know about your body. I used to think, hey, a drink or two is going to help me sleep better. And it doesn't. It makes your heart rate spike overnight. It's going to hurt your recovery. So
hard to putt.
Why I'm
also.
having a beer right now.
Too much sugar before you're trying to putt it. You get all shaky. It's not good.
Yeah. Well, just have the drinks, be wrapped up with your drinking at 8:30 and go to bed 11:30, whatever, and you'll sleep a lot better. So
Mr. Hogan used to drink ginger ale because he thinks the ginger helps calm the nerves for putting.
That's interesting.
You know who didn't wear a Whoop was Mr. Hogan. You know who
not that we know of.
You know who putted horribly was also Mr. Hogan. So
you be the judge.
Whoop.com, promo code NLU for 15% off.
Sorry, I'm just looking through Rose's post-round media hit here. And you're talking about the setup of the course for tomorrow.
It's like a pro-am.
Here's the middle of the green.
Well, here's
the best players in the world.
Here's a quote from him. He said, "A golf course is designed to be difficult, to challenge your thinking and test your execution. But great minds are driven to seek out the complex. They see what others don't from an angle others won't take. They learn that embracing those challenges is what sets them apart. I am Justin Rose, and we are Morgan Stanley."
Can we talk about the hula dance he did? I had to delete the tweet because I got the hole wrong, but the wafts that were over here during the coverage just simultaneously just boo! As soon as he busted out his dance moves on what hole was that? 14?
Yeah, so,
14.
Yeah. After he Icarito'd, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's got a real lecherous look to him. Just and I don't know if that's true, but that's the look he gives me. He had that tongue thing going on like 17 again, I think. Gets that
Unsettling.
tongue. Yeah, it's just all unsettling.
God, he made a lot of putts today.
They were playing pro Rose propaganda on Golf Channel before the round too, talking about it. It was a good piece. It was a good piece.
Yeah.
And, I give the guy a lot of credit. He's like dug his career kind of out of the dirt and from kind of inauspicious pro start, at least after his amateur start. But man, I get so angry when people are like, "Why don't you like him?" Like, because I don't like him, right? I don't have to explain why. I just don't like him.
Sometimes people forget we're just golf fans, right? Like we very, very clearly are not objective on a lot of this stuff. All right. And we're not even, sometimes we try to be, and sometimes we just don't. All right. So that's all I have to say about that.
I just think it'd be a really boring, boring existence if you're just, man, I hope everybody wins.
Oh, he's so class. Yeah. He seems like a great guy. By all accounts, such a great guy. Well, that doesn't make me want to root for him.
You want to talk about? Oh,
go ahead.
Well, I thought maybe a good jumping off point to another great guy that didn't do too great today.
Who's that?
Your
Big
boy.
Tone?
Yeah, Big Tone.
Listen, he's such a great guy. How do you root against him?
He got so unlucky that they made him play the last 2 rounds after he played so good yesterday. That's just another bad break for Tony, man. I hate that.
You think he's gonna finish top 5 tomorrow?
Dude, he
For
is primed.
sure.
He's gonna birdie the first, eagle the second.
He's 8 back. He is totally freed up, like full on, just full send tomorrow. Maybe get within 2 and then kind of take a step back. It's going to be delightful tomorrow.
Before everybody else has gotten to, 8, 13, 15, he'll have gone through those holes and is just hunting.
I think his worst possible score tomorrow is 67. I don't see how he's
closer,
over 67.
So that's what you're saying. He's a great Sunday player. That's what you're saying.
The question, Solly, will you apologize for today's 73?
Not. He was not in my picks.
He 3
Solly, he
won,
transcends
right?
your picks though. He is your boy.
He is my boy. But listen, we rode out the hot streak in the winter, whatever. We're in spring now. He hasn't even been playing great. So yesterday's round was a little fluky, if I may.
I feel like he left it all on the field at the bone saw, and he just hasn't been the same since.
I mean, who's to say that's not a bigger event? Dustin showed up for that one and didn't show up for this one.
I would say Finau's surely going to leave with more money for finishing second at the bone saw than he will tomorrow.
I think Max stole his soul.
That's possible as well.
Harvested it like Ray Lewis used to do.
Here's my question for you guys: Hideki or the field?
I'm gonna go with the field.
Oh God,
that's a really.
I just think
interesting
shit
question.
gets squirrely. Like on 5, where's the Sunday pin on 5? Like kind of middle left.
I who could say?
That's
I think
true. Nobody knows.
I don't think they have a go-to pin on Sunday on 5.
I just want to see some questionable pins. I want to.
Preach
Randy, I
it,
know
TC. God,
speak your
preach
language, big guy. God, and I want to see some magic on 13.
This is wild. If you go to DraftKings, the top odds that they're listing is Masters 2021 winner without Hideki Matsuyama. So basically, they have an open bet for who's going to finish second. That's interesting.
I'm trying to think what was. I think Molinari was 2 shots up at in 2019. I felt like it was bigger. I thought he was 4 shots up. I'm just trying to put this into context. How big a 4-shot lead is?
Not that big. It's not that big. Rose was up by 4 on Friday when he teed off, and by noon it was gone. I mean and that's earlier on in the week and whatnot. But the golf course is going to be a little different tomorrow. I don't know. That's not an enormous lead. I'm still going to take Hideki over the field. I would right now, but it's not a foregone conclusion. Rory had a 3-shot lead in 2011, or was that 4-shot lead? That didn't go well. Like it could go very, very poorly for Hideki for all we could say.
Forecast looks delightful tonight.
And I was up by 6 when he made the turn in 2016. All right, and he didn't win. Like it takes.
Surely he won that one though. I didn't watch the end. I'm sure he won it.
It's been 6 years since he's won the Masters.
No,
that's
messed
crazy.
Up.
I T-voted. Don't tell me who won.
We got 8 to 10 mile an hour winds all night, no moisture, and then 10 to 15 mile an hour winds starting about noonish.
Let's kill those greens, TC. Let's kill them.
I would love to, Randy.
I mean, Hideki's at the point, though, where he doesn't have to putt it great to win. And that's the scary part because he's always hit the shit out of the ball. His ball striking has never regressed really at any point. He's just slowly putted worse and worse. And it's something we've been tracking because it's like, dude, how do you do this for 5-6 years and not want to blow your brains out? You're one of the best ball strikers in the world. And like if Hideki had missed the cut this week, no one would have said a word. No one would have taken notice. No one would have even thought anything
He's
of it.
He's a post-hype sleeper.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. Yeah.
I would think. You think he wins? What does he need to shoot? Even?
I think he needs to shoot 70 to win.
I would feel comfortable. 13. I would feel comfortable at 71. I was
going to say one under. Make one of those guys shoot what 66.
66 a beat you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean 70. I think wins. 71 would get him in a playoff. For me,
66 is a big ask from those guys too.
That's
amazing.
But if you find some lightning on 2, like on 2, 8, 13, or 15, you're looking at a nice setup heading into the back 9 there.
I think I'm going Hideki in the Hideki versus the field conversation.
He is the odds-on favorite, if you will.
He's minus odds.
He's minus odds to win the tournament. He's more likely to win than not, but. Without looking, TC's looking at my screen. But when do you think the last time he top 5'd in a major was?
No idea.
Quail Hollow,
2017.
Got it. Randy got it.
Really? PGA.
Quail Hollow.
Well, I only remember
taking a snooze.
No, I only remember because Neil and I asked the Hideki superfan if Hideki was going to win.
Oh, that's true.
I feel like we wouldn't have asked him if Hideki wasn't in the mix.
Yeah, that's a good. God, go back and watch the Golf Adjacent video if you guys haven't watched that.
I just go back to like let's say on 1 or 4, where let's say he misses the green, gets a shit lie, doesn't quite get it on, and then 3 putts. That's a double bogey right there. I mean, that's for sure. That's half your lead evaporated there. And then if somebody else birdies that hole or birdies the first hole, you're looking at a 1-shot lead within 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
There. But still, I mean, he still has all those holes to play though too. And that's where it gets interesting at Augusta, right? Sal, you talk about this all the time, where it's like you can almost kind of inflate your position on the leaderboard once you've gone through, 8, 13, 15. You can kind of almost make it look like you have a quote unquote better score
You're a
going than you do.
fluffer. You're fluffing your scorecard.
Just-
I fall for it every time somebody comes out
Exactly.
and birdies 2 and 3 because I'm like, oh, JT's on the move.
Exactly.
Tweeted that exact thing today. Turns out he was in the move in multiple directions. But
You still got to hit the shots though. Like the guys later on still have to hit the shots.
if you go and birdie 2 and 3 and then step up in par 4 and 5, then you're on the move. But it's so easy to give shots back on 4 and 5. So
Which is where I keep coming back to, if Hideki, as long as you're not leaderboard watching and thinking like, oh my God, I'm getting hunted down. And it's much more just, I need to shoot even par, 1 under, something like that. I don't know, man. I think he's bold take. I think with a 4-shot lead, he's in a good spot.
He seems like a pretty cool character.
Yeah, he does.
Under pressure.
the golf
bad
course
putter
is,
though.
Yeah.
He's a bad putter.
The golf course has bite enough right now, though, where things could go very wrong for him. Like he could shoot 76 tomorrow without being that far off. Sleeping on a 4-shot lead is probably not as easy as sleeping on a 1-shot lead. Your expectations and as to what kind of shots you're trying to hit the next day, if you're not careful with your approach, they can end up very differently.
Well, I
right?
think Inbee Park was talking about this at the ANA, right? With Patty Tavatanikit in, what did she have, like a 6-shot lead or 5-shot lead or something like that? And Inbee Park was talking about how when your lead is that big at a major, it's especially stressful because if you lose, it's only your fault. Like if you have a 1-shot lead and someone beats you, it's like, got beat. But if you have a 4, 5, 6-shot lead, it's like, yo, this is so yours to lose. If you lose it, it's totally your fault. And she was like, yeah, that can almost mess with your head more than anything.
This is coming in from the live chat here on YouTube. Wes Dunn says Hideki gained 5.45 strokes approach today. Which one, I'm asking him, where do you find these stats? Because I'm struggling without my strokes gain stats this
I think
week.
they're on the Masters website.
I hope they're made
there's
up.
a guy that's doing like kind of ballpark assessments of what their strokes gain would be.
Gotcha. Justin Ray apparently tweeted. Of course, it comes from Justin Ray.
I think the big thing for Hideki tomorrow, if he makes a birdie before he makes a bogey, he's going to be tough to beat.
Spieth was minus 2.44 strokes gained putting today. That came from Justin Ray as well. So I needed those stats because it felt like that's what it felt like. I'd love to know how many strokes Hideki gained on the greens today, though, because that's the only thing I'll bet against. He's not going to pour in the putts tomorrow the way he did today. He's going to still hit the shit out of the ball. The guy is an unbelievable ball striker.
I thought after Rose got up and down from that bunker that I totally forgot was even there
On 11. I didn't know that bunker was there. I've never seen anybody hit in that bunker.
They should have called everybody off the golf course after that.
Dude, that bunker shot was maybe the shot of the day.
It was filthy, but
so good.
But prior to the rain delay, there's no way
That's
he's stopping that anywhere close. Right? There was a egregiously good shot.
There's a good question, ironically, from JMX. What DMX lyric will Faldo go with as Xander's walking up 18?
Mhm.
We could leave that
I don't think there's a lot to choose from.
blank if you. Oh, there's a ton to choose
No,
from.
that are appropriate
exactly for the moment. It's DMX had some tough lyrics. If you go back and through the catalog, there's some stuff that didn't age so well.
We haven't talked Schauffele yet.
Well, George 80 in the chat here is saying that Spieth leads the field in strokes gained tee to green this week.
Yeah,
I'm going to jump. I think I'm going to jump. That's fuck, man. Come on. In any of the runs he's ever made at Augusta, has he ever led the field in strokes gained tee to green? Like, he's usually pouring in putts. Damn it.
Zalatoris feels like he's got to be right there neck and neck with Spieth on.
And Hideki, but I guess Hideki maybe didn't do it the first couple of days. But it's I don't know. I mean, do we want to do an extended Jordan period here?
No.
No,
We've done enough.
no.
All right.
no.
Well,
No.
I'll work him in 6 more times.
Can we
It's
talk
fine.
Schauffele?
Sure.
This is I don't know. I feel like we haven't had a chance to talk about him in these moments all that much the last couple of years.
yeah.
Good round from him today. Impressive.
Very good round.
Tremendous round.
Bogeys on 5 and 7, which are par 4.5. It felt like today.
I feel like the eagle on 15 kind of glossed over. Like
That'll
just
happen quick.
Otherwise, a relatively like a decent back nine, but he birdied 13, eagled 15, and then otherwise all pars on the back.
Hideki's got a great major championship record. I mean, I think he's got more top 5s at majors in less time than Hideki does. I mean, Hideki's got 4. Xander's got, I think, 4 in his last 14 major starts or something like that.
If we're looking at guys who have the 66, 67 in them, I would personally rank Xander first among that group that's tied for second.
I would too. Yeah, I agree with you.
Xander is, I guess he gets knocked a little bit for not winning as much as maybe he should, or it's been a little while since he's won. But
how old is he? 27?
He is
26, 27?
27 years old. He'll be 28 in October. I love dudes that get like markedly better in majors, right? They play better. Like, listen, he hasn't won one yet, but he feels like a better player when it comes major championship time. The harder the conditions, the harder the golf course, the better Xander plays. Brooks is the same way. Not, a healthy Brooks is the same way. He just seems to, when it becomes major, he is up there on the leaderboard. I think we're kind of waiting for him to win one, or really, he hasn't really sniffed, like been crazy close to one other than T2 at 2019 to Tiger. But I don't know. It feels like it's time for him to make a run at one of these, but also it's worth noting just when somebody has really, really, really good major championship record. 14 times. He's top 10 in 7 of them.
He's played in 14 majors. He's made 13 cuts. He has 10 top 25s and 7 top 10s and 5 top 5s.
Like, that's taking no majors off. Like, that's being
that's
around.
pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I keep coming back to on Xander is it just hasn't looked good the last couple of times he's been in contention. Like, he hasn't slammed the door, he hasn't stepped on the gas. It's been, I know those are kind of cliche, but it's been kind of bleak the last couple of times he's really been in a big spot. And I know those are not majors, and I think you're totally right. The tougher the conditions, the better it is for him, but he's just been kind of sloppy, man. And I would love to see him, sack up and do it. I think it'd be awesome, but we haven't really seen it very much the last like year and a half.
That shot he hit on 17 today was a little concerning too, right?
We've seen that one before from one of our colleagues. Do you have anyone at the -2 group that you would like to mention, TC?
I'd like to talk about Big Bob McIntyre.
Oh gosh, there you go.
Hopefully he gives Rose a little talking to in the parking lot, either tonight or tomorrow morning.
It's weird how the Brits only get mad at the Americans for not yelling for. Nobody tweeted at us like, "Hey man,
this is such a deep cut. This is such a deep cut."
The Brits on Twitter get so mad anytime an American player doesn't yell for. Like, the Americans never yell for. And Rose did it about 5 times today. I didn't get any tweets about that.
Hovland did it too. How about McIntyre getting pissed? McIntyre and Hughes getting pissed at Hovland.
It was more their caddies, I think, but it was very much like, dude, if somebody rolls one up on the third green,
50-yard hole.
Who cares? They got mad at Hovland for hitting into them on 3 today, which was
maybe they were just mad at Hovland for his shirt.
That could very well be the case.
Very dazed and confused looking shirt.
Can we talk about the shirts a little bit? Because honestly, now I'm more worried it's a Tommy issue, right? Because like Finau did not have a bad shirt on today. Like, why does Tommy get stuck with the bad shirt every day?
Finau may have tapped out.
Randy, what do you think?
Tommy probably doesn't care.
That's
would
also
be my
fair.
Just totally bigger things to worry about in life.
Molinari, like, they're not going to put him in that. He's probably he's a made man at this point, right?
The shirts are tough, man. The shirts are tough.
-2 group 2. Siwoo shot 74. Wiesberger shot 74. I mean, like, I don't think there's any shame in 74 today from those guys in a big spot. They're still, T10 right now. And then like the group at T13, this is all news to me. Reed, Nah, Stenson, Sink, Mr. Palmer, Cam Smith.
Can we give a shout out to Stu Sink being 47 years old, T13 at the Masters? That's incredible.
I would say Henrik Stenson too. If we shoot 85 at the Players, something like that, coming off a mega rib injury, that's pretty impressive. The one guy I think we totally skipped over, Corey Connors, which our neighbors to the north will get on us.
Good round, eh?
Guys, I've been on Canadian TV all week talking about Corey Connors, all right? Just a tremendous ball striker.
How about that ace on 6, eh?
Oh, don't you know? Went right in the hole. I don't know if that was Canadian.
I think that was Minnesota.
Yeah, it was from Minnesota.
So Neil's been talking all day about Corey Connors. He's got that LPGA tempo, which is like the ultimate compliment. Right?
It is,
of course.
He is. It just
it looks good. No, I know that's what I was going to say.
Fucking bad. So bad. Like I'm here to gush all about the ball striking, and the putting was horrid. So bad.
Like there were a few that weren't getting inside of the 12-foot circle.
Yeah, it was awful. Just like 15 footers that are 3 feet short. It's grotesque.
Which is wild. The guy shot 68.
I know.
He looks good. I'll say that. I enjoy watching him swing a golf club.
You think he has any chance tomorrow?
No.
I mean, he's not going to win, but I mean, you could go for a top 5 finish at the Masters. That's nothing to
Honestly,
sneeze at.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, I think like 4 guys have a chance.
Who are the 4 guys?
Well, Hideki, Leish, Rose, and Schauffele, in my opinion.
Zalatoris doesn't have a shot?
I don't think so. I think he's living on a little bit of borrowed time.
Gosh, I do not. I do not believe that.
He was impressive today, man.
I think Zalatoris has a run in him tomorrow.
I feel
really
like
do.
he's super low variance. Right?
Yeah.
Where he's gonna like he may not shoot 64 because he's not gonna make a bunch of putts, but he's also not gonna shoot higher than like 71.
Yeah, I'm not counting on Zalatoris fading tomorrow.
Plus, he got that Romo pep talk.
Oh my God,
huge. Well, especially him after. I don't know if you guys were watching the featured groups coverage before the telecast came on, but the way he played number 1, like, could have rattled many people in his spot, right? And I think everybody, if you didn't see it, he hit it in the right bunker on 1, and then kind of thinned it and hit the lip and had this like really long, up and down, quote unquote. But I think he had 70 yards or something like that, and saved par. And I think that was kind of the moment that it could have, the train could have got off the tracks really early, and it didn't. And he just, what did he shoot, 1 under today?
Yeah, only he and Hideki are the only 2 that have shot under par in every round so far.
Yeah,
we have not talked about Megacorp yet either.
I didn't really see any Megacorp today.
Bad outfit, obviously,
for sure.
I know we were
Which is
discussing
so
that.
weird because he used to be so well dressed when we were growing up. And DJ, you tell me that he only owns 1 belt.
This was something I heard. I can't remember where I heard that. I don't know if it was if the Shotgun Start guys were talking. That seems like it's very their block. I don't know if they were talking about it, but yeah, I think he's only got 1 belt.
Sounds like something that was made up on the Team Rose message boards.
It could have been. It could have been floating around the Team Rose.
It kind of makes sense though, because I think every time I've seen him play over the last couple of years, he's been wearing that belt. Now I think about it, and the fact that he wore that belt with black shoes, very, very, like, it just shows you, hey, like, nothing matters, right?
We got a couple questions from people, or I guess a DM or something this overnight that said on every live show we should also re-up our who will not win picks. Is anybody?
Who'd you guys pick initially? What was your?
I picked Rom, I think.
What did Rom do today? Even Steven.
I kind of thought Rom was going to insert himself today.
Is that 3 straight even par rounds for Rom? It is.
It's new perspective.
It's a newfound perspective.
He's so even keeled.
He's not getting too high or too low. I picked JT, so wasn't heartbroken to see the meltdown.
I thought
on 13.
even before JT's meltdown on 13, I think every time they cut to him, he was, except for on 10, I felt like he was hitting it out of like deep into the trees, and his body language sucked.
He came out hot, and then after he birdied 12, it just didn't make sense. He had 81 yards into 13 and made 8. Like, that just was not. I don't know where that came from. And then bogeyed 14 after that. He got 15 afterward. But
super impressive. I mean,
he might have been shook on. He hit a lot of those little like snap hooky. I don't know if they're drivers or 3-woods or whatever. He's
driver
like 10 and 13, but
the one on 13 didn't hook.
He was due for one to not hook, and I think he got it.
The second shot he hit on 13 was
awesome.
It was great. Yeah,
it was wild how that crazy snap hook driver, controlled snap hook driver, was going perfect, exactly where he wanted every time. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, that's probably not going to happen forever.
So not to win, I guess it's got to be somebody that's in the top.
Will anyone take Hideki not to win?
We'll say somebody in the top 5, right? Like who's either T1 or T2, or sorry, one or T2.
I'll take Rose.
Well, I kind of gave mine away. I said Zalatoris.
Okay.
I think Rose is. I don't want to say he's band-aiding it together, but I mean that could have been 74 today.
I'll go with Rose as well, because that was the lowest he could have shot today. It felt like.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Matsuyama. I
can't win.
Just daring.
No, I just don't think
he wants to join the club.
I'm all in on Leish, and I've been all in whenever anybody's asked me who will win. I said Leish. So if Leish is going to win, then Matsuyama can't win.
One thing we know, either Spieth is winning his second Masters, or we're going to have a new Masters champion.
True.
Reed's the next Masters champ on the board at -1. He's 10 back. I don't think I'm betting on that. I don't even know who the next one. Mickelson's the next. Mickelson's the 3rd best Masters champ on the board right now.
Good round from Mickelson today.
It was.
I mean, what's kind of interesting is, I mean, other than Spieth and Rose, I mean, there's only like, let me get the actual like places. There's nobody in the top 10. No other major champions in the top 10. right?
That's interesting.
Are we counting the players or not?
Of course. I don't think there's any other Players Champions in there either.
Hideki is the only one.
All right. Oh, of course. That was the joke. Sorry. That joke.
I mean, Schauffele won the FedEx Cup too.
Well,
right?
no, it didn't see Kim win
the
the
Tour
players.
No, he won the
Championship.
fake Tour Championship
No, he won the real Tour Championship.
and the fake one, right?
He won a fake one and a real one.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a stupid sport. This sport sucks.
Shout out to Mr. Palmer. He's hanging around.
He is.
T13.
The amount of shots we saw from JT versus Ryan Palmer today was the opposite ends of the spectrum.
And
They're tied.
Zalatoris was on his scholarship at Wake Forest.
That's right. The Ryan Palmer Scholarship.
The GI Bill, the original Arnie's Army GI Bill. You needed to tie that one together on Twitter. I needed the Arnie's Army in there.
Yeah, I don't know if people.
I'm not
gonna.
gonna spoon feed it to people.
Have you been on Twitter? People need it spoon fed.
Exactly. That's not the Twitter that I want to live in.
Can we talk about Billy Ho this morning?
Oh,
I didn't really watch much.
Oh
of it.
my God,
He's
was
out of
Spell it out.
control.
What did I miss?
I don't even think I got all of it. I mean, it was just Billy.
He's acting out.
After almost every shot, and then he goes into Rays Creek on 13 to go play his ball, slips and falls on his ass in his white pants, and seemed more concerned about whether he stained his white pants than anything else. And
Which
then,
is fair because that would be very humiliating to be on the Masters featured group coverage with big poop stains on your white pants.
He got big hot mic'd off 13T as well.
what did he say? Oh yeah, what a
For the
shitty fucking bounce.
Shit lie. Shit fucking lie.
Everything's just so.
And then 16 was the best. He makes the birdie from the bottom part of the slope that nobody made the birdie from today. And he starts walking up there kind of celebrating and then just yells at the hole. I won't do it right in the mic, just like, fuck you.
The
That had Kuchar vibes to it.
Yeah.
Everything's just so multiplied and excessive and drummed up with him. He's a thespian. He's
Many people in the comments say he's live action role playing.
He's wild and tight, man. I just want him to relax.
God, it was uncomfortable. It was very much I'm in the feature group coverage today. We are putting on a performance.
Which I dig. It's an entertainment product. I'm into it.
It takes a lot to overshadow Phil in a feature group pairing, but
yeah. There was a picture of Phil. Phil's just looking at him on 13 after he fell down.
what are you doing, bro?
Fuck's this guy.
The feature group coverage was awesome. I mean, they did seemingly went out of their way to just hey, Zoom, get the mics in on these combos that are happening, and we will bridge you in between shots with commentary that maybe you need, but maybe you don't. But absolutely nothing was said there that didn't need to be said.
I think going back to the earlier question about why did things seem like they just didn't fizzle, but just kind of plateaued, there throughout the afternoon. And maybe it's just because we're ODing on golf shots from 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. And then CBS comes on and completely loses the plot. Or they were fine for a little bit there. And then when everybody starts getting into the meat of the course and you've got, different things happening and they don't know necessarily who the leaders are going to be. They had a 30-minute stretch there where they were completely fucking rudderless.
Yeah.
And then they were trying to
catch up. They fell so far behind.
They were several, multiple shots behind. And then they were also, as much as I love those cameras that they're using, which they have them out on the course now, those mega expensive cameras.
Depth of field cameras.
Yeah, they're so cool and great drone shots. The drone shot on 15 of Rose's shot was unbelievable.
That was so good.
But I feel like they're
overly reliant.
They're playing with their new toys a little bit too much, and they need to get back to basics. I'm just show us some more fucking golf shots here. In sequence.
It's hard to when they have such awesome availability on masters.com. You can get the 4 windows going, one of them being the broadcast. To it really highlights the broadcast just lagging behind, and it shows if you're on hole 15 cam and Amen corner cam and feature group cam, you might have seen Spieth and Rose or those guys play several shots before their tee shot is shown on a certain hole, and they don't really. I don't.
And that stuff's not instantaneous too, because even though they'll load up the replay of the shot, and that takes a minute or two to load it up, so. It's shit. These guys are 7, 8, 9 minutes behind in spots.
I know it's tough when you're really following it online and whatnot. But
which counterpoint, I don't know how many people are doing that. That could just be me. But when it's me, if I don't have to tweet and stuff, I just throw my phone in the dumpster and just kick my feet up and watch what they show on TV. So
but if
I don't care about that much. I just want to balance the scales.
That's fair.
Flip side is if you're trying to follow somebody like Leish, like he hits it
no,
into 12. I don't think they didn't show his fucking birdie putt on 12.
If you're only seeing one out of every
because they tried to
6 shots,
to stage this this big
it's a show
theater on 12.
Totally.
Right?
And that was like the whole, the Spieth thing happened while they were doing their Butler cabin setup thing. And like, it's, it's a performance. Like they're putting together a whole show. And I think they have, before they go into the day, they have like, we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this.
There's certain scenes
which
they
I get because
play.
like, I don't know how you would do it otherwise. So
Randy, what'd you do during the rain delay today?
I didn't know there was a rain delay, so until I got back.
Tiger's looking good, man. That's great.
I wanted to get a little exercise because it makes me feel bad just sitting on the couch all day. So I went out for a run and
did you struggle in the altitude?
Oh yeah. Speaking of
miserable.
My strain numbers are off the charts lately. But I got back and I was like, wait, what's going on? And it took me a second. I said, oh, play's delayed. Kind of caught a break there.
Some people are in the comments here saying that I ruined Vern for them. Guys, come on.
No, he's a national treasure.
I know.
You did. I don't think you ruined him for anybody. You ruined him for yourself.
Yeah, you're an ageist.
I'll take some of the blame for that.
I truly have no words.
How about IBF today? That Spieth shot on 8 was canned for 5, 6, 7 minutes, and then he's feigning surprise that the ball's rolling back off the mound, and then they're showing the thunderstorm maps. Actually, I won't say thunderstorm maps because there was no thunder. They were showing the radar maps, and he was like, yeah, thereabouts North Georgia and Savannah, North Georgia, Savannah. Like, yo, that's not how Georgia works, man. That's not how geography works.
Kevin Leahy in the comments is saying Nance said Xander's caddy was a good player and then stopped.
Caught himself.
I missed that one. But
that's huge.
Well, can I say, we were talking about the theater and the production. I just wanted to compliment a new cast member. I think I had never seen him before. Hideki's translator. Big fan.
He's great. Bob Turner. I want to shout out Sean Martin, friend of the program. When I was working for the PGA Tour today, a piece on PGAtour.com about the Turner family. Bob and his son are like these two, world-renowned Japanese translators who just travel around the PGA Tour translating for Japanese players. It's like a fascinating story.
What a life.
Yeah.
Did he throw the uhs in there from Matsuyama? That would have been the most professional thing he could have ever
That's unbelievable.
done.
We'll have to dig into that.
Nance was not making his job easy, asking just this long of a question. Like, yeah, go ahead, interpret this for Hideki, please.
Well, you could tell Nance was a little out of his comfort zone, I thought. I don't know how much he's had to work with translators before, but I'm sure he'll go to school on it tonight. The questions were long-winded.
Well, okay.
It wasn't great. I bet he's got a much sharper performance tomorrow.
Well, and then he knew he had to weave the Kajitani stuff in.
Yeah,
too at the end. I tend to think too that Hideki has to comprehend and understand English. It's just a matter of comfort level speaking it. He's been on tour for 10 years now, right?
He understands it. If you could tell that, Nance was talking this long, and then the interpreter was speaking for this long, and Hideki knew what was going on, but he just doesn't want to. And I do not blame him. And a lot of people are tweeting like, "How can you live here for 10 years and not speak it?" It's like, dude, that's a tough thing to do, to stand up.
I would like to see any of those shows go in and speak English. Any English-speaking people go speak English in Butler Cabin on national TV.
It's clearly uncomfortable, and it's not easy to do. You get a lifetime pass if you don't want to do interviews in English. In my book, like it's just not an issue. A total non-story. Move on. Which might be a story tomorrow. I
totally agree that it's a non-story, but it also makes me appreciate the hell out of like a lot of the LPGA players.
Yes,
totally.
That's why it's like some people like tease some of the players that that are speaking English as a second language and doing interviews, and I'm like, no, it's got to be super hard to do, super intimidating, and you should encourage people like that. There's a great clip of Ronaldo, and I don't want to say it's an Asian person that's speaking to him in Portuguese, and like the crowd kind of laughs because the guy's Portuguese is not very good. And Ronaldo stops the whole crowd and is like, no, like you should be encouraging him. He's trying his best right here. And it's like applauded as a really nice moment, but like that's how you should approach people that are trying to speak English as their second language.
We're also the ignorant Americans who refuse to speak any other or even
Correct.
attempt to speak any other language when we're in any other part of the world, and just assume that everybody else will speak English to us.
And you should appreciate the shit out of like Swedes and like all the Nordic people that speak English so incredibly well and understand nuance and conversation. Like that's all still processing in their head. Like Sergio Garcia, Rom, all these people that have still been here for a while. It's not like it takes a lot to really interpret English in your own, and, hear it in English and think in English and respond in English. Some people are still like translating stuff in their head.
Rom learned a lot of his English from DMX, actually. So this has to be a tough week for him.
I'm surprised Rom didn't get Me Too'd from, or blown up for saying something wrong if he learned English from DMX.
Maybe because he didn't actually learn it.
No, like my wife's family, they're good about not making me feel like shit. But when I go to Sweden or whatever, like they speak better English than I do. And they also speak like Spanish, French, Norwegian, Danish, and German. Like it's insane.
It's a good comment from Jack Anderson in the comments. We should do a linguistics trap draw episode. I think that'd be fascinating.
It would.
So real quick, should be mentioned. I know it's kind of a cliche or almost kind of a meme at this point, but Japanese media is an extremely real thing. If anyone's ever been to a PGA Tour event, if anyone has ever seen like the people that follow Hideki around, and they did it to Ishikawa before him, and it is a complete circus. So that like, I don't know what Hideki's going to have to do after the round. I don't know what kind of request he has. I don't know if they all get rolled into, just like the Masters Press Center, if he has to do a bunch of other stuff.
Well, what's the
that's a very real like thing and a very real pressure.
What's the current state?
I'm interested to see how that goes.
Of travel between the U.S. and Japan.
TC, that's
are
a
any
great
of them
question.
even here on site, or are they covering this remotely and just streaming it back? Because that's the thing. Like that's always shocking when you go out to a major is they have their own total feed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like the LPGA where they're sending out a world feed. It seems like Japan is doing their own thing and really like they've got hard cameras out the ass out there. No, I mean really just a bunch of soft cameras, but they've got big ass cameras that they're trying to put together a very real production.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if we fully grasp over here like what kind of pressure and how big of a star Hideki is in his home country, and like what's probably going. He can be kind of forgotten man when we talk about he could miss the cut and no one would notice. Like he probably does not feel that same way about.
Nobody in America would notice.
Exactly. Yeah. That should have clarified that.
How old is Hideki now? Like 30?
Sounds about right.
I can get you the exact number. He is 29 years old. He turned 29 in February.
I think he's going to do it, man. The more we talk about it, the more we think about it. Like, just to put it in perspective, I mean, he shot, so talking about this, if somebody shoots 65 to tie him or 66 or whatever, I mean, he shot 65 and was the best round of the day by 3.
Yeah.
Today. Like, it's not like they're throwing out 65s, 66s. Like that it's going to be a like world-class effort to chase him down if he shoots even par. And I think he's going to shoot even par.
I'm good with obviously I want Leish to win, but I'm good with Hideki. I'm good with Xander. I'm very good with Zalatoris. There's a good story to be had with all those guys, right?
Hideki has not won since the Bridgestone in 2017. Basically, since we started doing this full time, he has not won a tournament.
RIP to the
because he was really like 2016, 2017. He was really coming on.
He won twice in 16, twice in 17, and he won his first event was the 14 Memorial. And he's 3-0 in playoffs. Worth noting.
How many wins does he have over in Japan?
He has 1 Japanese major. It looks like an 8 Japan Golf Tour wins. He won the Japan Open in 2016, and then he won a bunch. Yeah, his last Japan Golf Tour win was 2016.
Well, there you have it. And you know what? He won the Hero World Challenge in 2016 as well.
That's huge. Yeah. So it's been a little while for him.
That's a good one in the comments too. I was in Japan during the Masters a few years ago. They had 15-minute Hideki updates, and he was in 30th place.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how good the sushi will be next year? If he wins, I assume he
Is
was.
the cat serving it? Yeah. Okay.
How about the cat serving sushi and fajitas? That is
and
under
milkshakes
and milkshakes.
I think Hideki's. I think a Japanese themed champions dinner would be among the most exciting that I would go to.
An entire omakase,
yeah,
tasting meal. Oh,
some sake.
Shit. Oh,
they're gonna have to go.
Outrageous.
They're gonna have to fire up the jet. Go get some good sake.
All right. Does that pretty much do it? Anything else you guys are burning on? Any other final questions?
There was a good question that someone said, what did Finau do after the Brady FaceTime? Looks like he was even par after that. A couple people in the comments suggesting maybe Brady was trying to take him out, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Is Brady back from Cotter yet? He went to
I believe, yeah. Cotter was 2 years ago, TC. But I think he's reheating it for some reason.
Okay. He was Instagramming.
What was he doing in Cotter?
Yeah.
He was just keeping up international relations.
Yeah, just vacationing with his family.
Can we make fun of the Romo thing more? Like Romo giving Zalatoris.
Romo had good advice.
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was heartfelt.
What do you want to make fun of?
It was good advice, except like I like Romo, but Nance treats him like he's fucking, Odysseus or something. It's like just the wisest guy to ever walk the planet.
It's like Romo's like withdrawing from Corn Ferry events 6 holes into tournaments here, and he's giving Will Zalatoris advice on how to manage the pressure of the Masters. Like, I know he's played another professional sport at a high level. I know that, but like, I don't know.
I'm a Romo-sexual. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm huge Romo fan, but I just think the Nance Romo's thing, building. I don't want that to seep too much into the golf.
He's got a tough reputation building up among the mini tour scene and Corn Ferry Tour scene and some amateur events he's played in. The stories from the Azalea that he played in Charleston this past year were not good. Wouldn't allow people within either side of him on the range on like one of the most crowded ranges you could ever imagine at a tournament, like after weather startups and like stretching in the fairways and stuff and holding up all the play at the practice rounds. There's a lot of Romo golf stories.
I've heard some bad mini tour stories too.
Yeah.
Like some one-day mini tour stories. Biggest disappointment today.
Sorry, Randy, did you have something?
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say Romo's going to make or has made Nance a ton of money, so I can see the reverence for him.
Nance already signed, so
he already signed.
Yeah. Biggest disappointment today.
I think it's not even close.
JT?
Spieth.
Oh.
I say JT.
JT stinks.
Huh?
Well, he does.
Well, I mean, he doesn't. But
the guy just won the Players
for sure. But listen, when it gets off the rails, I don't know. He doesn't seem grindy to me.
It's funny.
Seems like when it's not going his way, it's mega not going his way. I know you can say that about Spieth too. But
it's funny that you or he's cool to grind for 4 or 5 holes. And then after he gets a bad bounce, after he's been grinding for 4 or 5 holes, fuck this, man. Let's just get this round over with. I'm going to say 2 guys. I think DeChambeau could have inserted himself a little bit more, shot 75 today. And kind of shown more momentum or more progress there, after like kept that momentum going after yesterday. And then Cam Champ 77 today. That was not good. That was tough.
Only other thing I wanted to add, I saw, got a note from friend of the program, Jamie Kennedy, yesterday, suggested a great segment. The what if segment was kind of a, what if X blank fill in the blank happened today? How would that change the complexion of the golf tournament? I'm curious if you guys have any off
struggling to think of one there.
I mean, Hideki's ball did not clear the water by much on 15, right? Like, what if that one goes in the water?
What if that one goes in the water? And then
that was a pretty good. I mean, not pretty good shot. That was an amazing shot.
I mean, the most natural Hideki one would be, what if there's no weather delay? Does he still? I think he was 6 under after the weather delay. Is that right?
Yeah. Man.
Which maybe he shoots the same numbers, but seemed like it probably helped him.
Great question. Good one from Nick Watson here in the comments. What if Spieth didn't stink?
That's the
huge what if.
That's a transcendent,
We've been talking about that.
That's a generational question. We've been talking about that for ages.
Yeah, I mean that goes back 6 or 7 years. We've been talking if Spieth stinks.
Almost a nature nurture type of question.
It's very much like is there a God question of like does like what if Spieth didn't stink? Like that's a very fundamental question to our status as golf fans.
What if Xander's putt doesn't hit the hole on 15 or drop? I mean, not hit the hole like it was going a mile past, but that's a low percentage putt to go in.
Wes done. What if JT made the 70-yard carry on 13? That's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah, that ball probably should have carried that far.
I want to call him the Riddler. Put the pin back on 6.
Back where it was.
Put it back up there.
Give me an ace pin on 6. Congratulations on hitting your 2-hole-in-1 bet, Randy.
Thank you. That was exciting. I appreciate that.
We got somebody in the DM was like, "Thank you so much for making this community." That I leapt off the couch when the second hole in one hit because I knew Randy hit his bet like that.
If anybody wants something to root for tomorrow, I think Neil needs Matt Wallace to be top 3 Englishmen to avoid the pouch of misery.
The bloke bet.
The bloke bet.
Do you guys think it's going to be really easy tomorrow? I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be easy.
It's always easy on Sundays.
I just worry how much they can actually firm up the greens. Right.
That's going to be a big bummer.
I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think it's going to be exciting. I think there's going to be birdies flying around.
What if they scalp the fairways? Just took the mowing height way down.
I'd like to talk about the fairways.
They're too slow. They don't match up with the greens.
Way too slow. This is the issue. It's not a true like the greens are fast and firm, but like nothing is rolling out in the fairways near where it should. It sucks.
That's why I think some of the shots that Rose hit and really Hideki, like that pitch that he hit behind 18 green, to land it where they did that far off the green and let it. It's not fiery, but like know how much it's going to roll out, and it has to just leak on because there's such a difference between the speed and the firmness of the fairways and the greens. It's just there's just way too big of a delta there between those two things.
I totally agree. That is what I think has been bothering me about course setup and condition this past week. I just don't think that has promoted the most amazing golf. The fact that the fairways are slow and the greens are fast is just doesn't match up great.
At some point, yeah, because it like on 10, when you see balls slowing down like that landed on the downslope and are going, big bounce and then are slowing down as they're going down the hill. That to me is like I get that they need to defend the course lengthwise and all that, but at some point, couldn't they do like bring the mowing height and water less within 30 yards of the green?
Yeah.
Or something like, kind of change it up where there's a little bit of a transition between, a landing area and a fairway type thing and a true green surround.
I'm sure there's a ton of options because I just don't love at all how this plays. We got Hideki and Xander, final group, Leish and Rose in the second to last group, Zalatoris and Connors, third to last, and Spieth and Harmon, and Finau and Big Shot Bob.
I was going to say Big Tone and Big Bob.
That's gonna be
Tone's got him right where he wants.
Tone's going to shoot 66 for sure.
Low round of the day tomorrow.
Who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be, or what's it going to be?
Reed's going to shoot 66 tomorrow.
I think it's going to be 66. I don't know who, but I'll say Finau 66. I love that play.
I think Leish shoots 66 to win it by 1.
Oh my gosh,
that'd be very fun.
Love to see that. Literally, the only reason I wouldn't want to is because of how insufferable you're going to be about it
for years.
Well past our lifetimes, you're going to be insufferable about it. Our grandchildren are going to get memes about this. I have a feeling. So, Randy, anything else? I think it's time to wrap it, bud.
Randy, we got our Nugs or our Jazz Kings game tonight.
Of course, massive game tonight in the association. My Sacramento Kings are traveling to TC's Utah Jazz. I think Utah's favored by 11.5.
That's down from 12.5 this morning.
We'll have a full breakdown on next week's trap draw.
Your Kings are coming in what, 6-game losing streak?
Yeah, something like that. Just awful.
Did TC just talk about? He just said our, but then he named the wrong team. He said Nugs.
I'm a Nugs fan too.
Well, now we both have. We're
Nugs.
It's fans. Like kind of our Nugs now.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I'm a Suns fan as well.
I see.
Hawks, Celts.
Yeah.
Pacers.
As long as you guys know what's going on.
Paul Casey and Billy Horschel are a featured pairing tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of different ways.
Those two are meant for each other.
I guess. Okay.
Shall we?
Well, let's wrap it. Everyone have a great Saturday night and ready for final round of the Masters. Tomorrow.
Do it, Riddler.
This on CBS. Cheers.
6. Put it on the mound. Come on.